So let's rock. I'm just going to change the view to here. Yeah, there we go. All right. So if my question for you, which I'm always going to start off every meeting with this question, there are uh, two big rules to follow when it comes to meetings, whether it be football, whether it be work, whether it be school, whether I'm meeting someone. What are these two rules? You can unblock your mic and answer.
Can you ask the question again, please?
Yes, of course. So there are two rules whenever we show up to a meeting, whether it be school football, whether it be school football, meeting with a friend. Actually, maybe not a meeting with a friend because well, I say what I'm gonna let someone answer. But what would be one of those two rules or both of those rules?
When you're meeting somebody,
Well, when you're showing up for a meeting like today,
I would say greetings.
greetings is very important. It's very important. That would be like number three or four. Mm-mm-mm.
Time.
Pardon me?
Time.
Yes, time, showing up on time, showing up early. There's a great quote. You guys can write this down. The quote says it's better to show up an hour early than a minute late. Um, and that would be the first one. Rule number two. All right, I'll just say. Rule number two, guys, is always bring a pen and paper or a notebook. All right, to write down the things that really stick with you. Our brain is not meant to remember things. It's meant to, process things. So the more we can write down, and then we can go read and say, "Wow." Let's say in a year from now, you look at your notes, you think, "Wow, man, this is what I thought was important. It's this is so important. This so." And again, if we have these meetings every week. If you do this once a week, you write down a page of notes a week. At the end of the year, you have just around 50 pages of notes. You're writing your own book of everything you think is important. I'm just gonna ask you guys to mute. Can I? Okay, I'll mute you guys. Um, so today the call is about how do we bounce back from a how do we bounce back from a setback? Right? Something happens in the game, something happens in practice, something happens just pertaining to the game of football. How do we bounce back from that? Well, first off, what we're gonna do right now, you guys are gonna have 3 minutes to come up with what like setbacks that we usually go through. I'm going to ask you to leave out injuries. We don't want to go through injuries, but any setbacks that you can think of. I have two right here that we're going to go through and ways that we can overcome them quickly. But first off, what are some setbacks that you've been through, and what are some setbacks that maybe you haven't been through, but they could come up? And this, guys, this for those of you who have been in these calls before, remember the POLAC system? P for purpose, and O is for objectives slash obstacles. Well, now we're going to go look at the obstacles that might be in the future, that might be there in the future. But after we find those obstacles, we're going to find the solution to them. So our brain is going to be wired that when that happens, perfectly fine because we already found the solution. So it's not a surprise. So you guys got 3 minutes. I want you to write down any setbacks that you've been through, any setbacks that you think can happen, not that are going to happen, that can happen. And after that, I'm gonna ask a few of you to share at least one, and then we're gonna find solutions to them right now. And remember, leave out injuries. We don't want to talk about those. All right. So you guys got 3 minutes. We're gonna actually, yeah, we'll start at six. We'll start now, and we have until 6:40. We'll put a little background music.
keep learning through books and everything.
Two more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. All righty. Stop this right quick. All right. Charles, would you mind sharing a setback that might happen or that has happened before?
I would say disappointing season, football season.
That's a great one. That could mean a lot of things, but that is a big one.
Yeah.
Big one. Thank you.
Mhm.
Did Emmy? Miss La Framboise. Donc, une chose, c'est un setback qui t'est déjà arrivé ou qui s'en vient, ou qui pourrait arriver. All right. So, we'll skip. Um, I'll share one. And right after I share this, we're going to take another 3 minutes. And everything you guys wrote down, you guys are going to find solutions on how to bounce back. All right. So here's a scenario. And this has to do a bit with what Charles said. So this is in one particular game. You start the game, but we underperform, we miss assignments, we drop passes, we make mental errors. Nothing seems to go our way, and the coach removes us from the starting lineup for next game. He reduces our reps in practice. Now that is freaking insane. Like you never want that to happen, but it is a reality. It might happen. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend another 3 minutes. It's 6:42 on the dot. We'll go to 6:46. Everything you wrote down, find the solution and how to come back from the setback, bounce back very quickly. So I'll let you guys get get on that right now. We have until 6:46. Even if you're done writing, guys, keep digging for solutions. And put it into detail. The more detail, the better. Go into detail on that solution, on how you're going to bounce back if ever this was to happen. One more minute, guys. One more minute. It's 44, almost 45, so it's 45. One more minute. Come on, keep digging. If it's difficult to find to find more solutions, that's perfect. The point of this is to get our brain to thinking very hard about what those solutions and how we can bounce back ways. So keep digging. We got just under a minute left. All right. Here we go. Let's get forward into this. So now we found the solution. And I really hope I'm going to pronounce this. Actually, Miss Thomas, how do we pronounce your first name?
It's Jumael, but just call me Ju. It's easier for everyone.
I'll say it one time. Jumael. All right. All right, Ju, what is a solution that you've found? Actually, briefly, what is one of the setbacks that you've written down, and what's one of the ways that you can bounce back quickly?
One of the setbacks I wrote because, well, it's not necessarily having a disappointing season, but just not being genre, placed in the position you wanted to be put in, like not being viewed as valuable as you want the coach to see you as. I don't know if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And my solution would be to have a great off season to be able to come back stronger next seasons to show the coach, well, to prove the coach wrong, basically.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Uh, so what, in other words, you want to focus on what you can control because that's what you were saying. We want to focus on what we can control because we can't control what the coach says or how the coach feels. All right. And actually, that is one of the answers here that I'll share with you guys. So it says, don't dwell on what's out of your hands. Instead, show up to practice as the hardest working athlete on the field. So during your off season, man, you go all out. Like we have to work so hard that there is no doubt in our mind that we're going to be exactly where we need to be. Become undeniable by improving your focus. And once you get into practice, being at in every rep that you can, taking advantage of every practice. I mean, you condition yourself so much in the off season that when you get into preseason and into actual practice, you could run every rep, and you might be huffing and puffing, but you won't be gassed. That is controlling what we can control, right? And so, watching more film, being more vocal in a positive way. So, what does watching film do? If everyone here has played football for at least more than a year, then we know that our games are filmed, most of them. So we know that we have content to go watch. But what does this do for our brain? It all depends on how we study it, of course. But when we go watch film, even our best plays, our worst plays, well, we learn from both. Our best plays is cool; it gives us a boost of confidence. But even in our best plays, there's always a specific time where we could have done something different to make it even better. And then our worst plays, well, then we have a lot to learn, right? But so doing all these things, right? Yes, go ahead.
My only question is because in where I play at, like I think we're the only team in the league that like our films, not our films, but our games are not filmed. So I don't really have like film that I can go watch to see like the mistakes I make or if I have like bad habits or stuff. So
Okay.
is there like something that I could do to help me?
Here's my question for you. Do you have anyone that comes to watch your games?
Yes, I do actually,
That
but not all
that
the time.
okay, well when they do, that person is your cameraman or camerawoman. it's
Okay.
it's it's almost even better because they'll be able just to follow you. One thing I would do um, is get someone to film you while you're playing. But also, if you have an old phone or whatever the case may be, something that you can film with, um, is get a stand. It's $20 on Amazon. You get an old phone or tablet, and the person sets it up, and you can see the whole field. So, and they film every time you're on the field. Just record.
Okay.
So then you have something to go off of. You can see your movements, right?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure. Because sometimes, guys, we might think we look a certain way, we did a certain thing, and then you go back and watch film, you're like, oh my goodness, that does not look like me at all. So it's very important, guys, to watch film. Imagine, um, you know, I spend time scrolling sometimes. All right, I'd say probably minimum 10 minutes a day to maximum an hour a day I spend scrolling. Most of the time I'm working on my phone. But imagine that time I used it. Imagine I used that time to watch film. Right? How much better I'd be. My mind already knows what's coming, what I've adjusted. Um, the second setback I wanted to talk to you guys about quickly because we're already at 9 minutes left, just under 9 minutes. So imagine this. Imagine you drop a fourth down pass. Imagine that. Or it's a fourth down, you get the handoff and you make it past the first down and then you fumble. Oof, that hurts. And I mean, the coach could bench you, whatever the case may be, but we're already hurting, right? We just like hurt the team. All right. That's punishment on its own. What can we do to bounce back from that feeling from that play. Accept that mistakes happen. We're not perfect. All right. It happens to every great champion out there. And they'll probably tell you that it's because of those mistakes that they were able to learn and become champions. So it's to go look if we're watching film. Okay, what did I do? In what position was I? And what made me drop the ball? What made me fumble? And then use that moment to learn. So this is going to sharpen your mind, and you will be ready. So when your body is physically in that moment, it won't happen again, or we'll bring the chances down. And accept again that these moments, guys, do not define us. It's okay to be upset, but we need to understand it happens. Now, what can I do? Well, like we said before, is control the controllable, is get back in the game next play and make a hell of a play, make a hell of a block, make a hell of a catch, and keep doing that. All right. I have a little exercise before we finish, guys. Does everyone have a pen and paper right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You're going to take a fresh sheet of paper that has nothing on it. And in the middle, you're going to draw a little dot. Just one little dot. Let me know when it's done.
It's done.
Perfect. Charles?
Yes, it is done.
Perfect. Now look at that sheet of paper. I can look at that sheet of paper. And what stands out from that sheet of paper?
Obviously, the dot.
Right.
Hmm.
Right? Like we have this whole sheet of paper that is open for all our imagination, everything we want, but our mind automatically goes to the dot in the middle of the page, which usually represents, guys, a negative comment, a bad play, um, bad thoughts, and we stay stuck on that little dot in the middle of our life, believing that it defines us. Now, here's where the secret lies: is when we're able to flip to a page that has a dot and say, wow, I have this big page that I can write on. And when I get to the dot, hey, I can write over it, I can write around it. So when we're able to program our mind to see the rest of the page and understand that sometimes there's going to be dots, but we'll focus on everything else that we have in our life, that's when we start winning. All right? Because what I wrote down is we could spend a day and have 10 people compliment us. Man, those are some nice shoes. Bro, your hair is nice. Oh, have you been working out, girl? Man, I saw you run, you look faster. Everyone's complimenting us. And then one person says, bro, kind of looks slow there. And it just right in our heart. Oh, how could they say that? And our mind just automatically forgets the other 10 compliments we got. And again, we're not going to talk about how to program our mind to stay focused on those 10 compliments, but the secret lies in that. Because that one negative comments, guys, there's going to be some all the time. People are always going to say something about you. And we need to focus initially on the good compliments. Learn, hey, if someone gives us a negative comment, say, all right, that's cool, and then learn. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're right, and maybe that's a lesson that I need to learn. And what I'm doing there is accepting. I'm not like, no, I'm not. I'm not slow. Da, da, da. You're just accepting what the person says. Say, okay, hey, I'll take a look at that. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're not. But at least you don't spend your time in a frozen, um, like stuck. Because usually when we resist things, this is what we do. No, no. When you accept, like, hey, okay, cool. Look at your body language. It's just so much more relaxed. That's where we want to get to. The more relaxed we are, the more we can get our brains to focus on the 10 compliments that we got instead of that one negative comment that just destroyed our whole day. And usually, guys, those negative comments come from people who have no idea what the heck they're talking, right? Unless it's coach. If it's coach, it's not a negative comment. It's a constructive comment. And if it's negative, well, you ain't got the right coach, right? And make sure you guys film when you run routes. Um, film your games if you can. If film, the more you watch, that is one thing I did so many times. And I would spend hours watching game film, watching training, so my brain gets conditioned. So I'll end on this, guys. Understand that one moment does not define us. All right. Charles, did you have something to say?
Non, non, c'est bon.
All right. All right. So again, any chance you get, film yourself. And I'll say the one thing to help us bounce back is to understand that that one moment does not define us. When I drop a pass, it's about a 3 to 5 second moment, like watching the pass come in, realizing it, hitting our hands, hitting the ground. It's probably 3 to 5 seconds. How much time do we have on this earth? We don't know, but how much time have we been here? It's probably longer than 3 to 5 seconds. Just guessing. All right. So when we were able to open our brain up to that and accept it, I'm not saying we won't get mad. I'm saying we'll take it a lot better and we won't spend too much time in it. That's all we got for tonight. Tonight, guys, it's 6:59. These calls again are meant to be short and sweet. There's another call for running backs with O-line prototype after this at 7. So make sure you get your team on the calls, guys. Very, very, very important because we need to get this right before we get onto the field. So on that note, have a blessed day, and we'll see each other next Thursday, 6:30 p.m.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Great pleasure. Thank you, guys.